Honestly speaking, today was a shitty day overall. I feel like I worked in reverse and I stepped out of my bubble and I let things outside of my bubble piss me off. Have you guys ever had like one of those days where honestly you just wake up, you don't want to do anything, or you wake up, is it you woke up on the wrong side of the bed and you just feel like everybody you see, you just want to bang their head against each other, or you just want to like throw them off a cliff? I mean, like, not literally, but it's just like the feeling and the wants to do so, knowing that we can't because we gotta have self control. I woke up this morning, it's like I did everything backwards, including going to the gym. I usually go to the gym early in the morning. I went late night. I went around, like, well, not late night, but I went around 7. I worked out for an hour and 45 minutes, came home, still took care of everything I had to do. I ate according to my meal plan for the day. I did everything else that I had to do. But like I said, I let stuff outside of my control bothered me and pissed me off, I guess you could say. So I live my life as if I'm in a bubble. Like, I don't know if you guys ever heard that before, but it's like my bubble is my safe space. My bubble is where all my most important duties and things that I love to do are located. I try my best not to let things out of control spin me and get control of me. Like, for example, I woke up today and it was just a lot of stuff I had to get taken care of that honestly could have waited later on in the day, and it just put me in a bad mood. Like, my mom calling me, I had give her like a check or some in cash. She calling me to tell me she misplaced it. Like, can I look for it? Can I go do this for her? And people like business wise for editing and stuff like that. And then I had to submit like a, how you call those, a statement for work for a situation that happened between my unit and a patient. Or it's just a lot of things. So my problem was I got up and I didn't do no meditation, I didn't do no reading, I didn't do no self improvement things as I've usually done, and that's okay. And doing so kind of like pissed me off, right? Because all these things could have waited, all these things could have like started on in my day. I could have got to them whenever I needed to. They weren't urgent per se. It's not like it was an emergency. So I ended up going to the gym late. I did my laundry. I cleaned the house. I did everything a little bit backwards. So it kind of like frustrated me a little bit and kind of like set me off. But here I am still recording, doing what I need to do because this needs to get done. And I feel like in life, when you have the feeling of being worthless, which is something I shouldn't even say myself in the moment, right? But we all have those days where we get knocked down and we have to come back up on our own and find true strength and passion to live our life and do our things. By accepting suffering, you will find great strength. I truly believe that because we all suffer, we all go through things, and it is very crucial to understand that things could either get better or worse. It is not in our control. It's kind of like our job to just kind of navigate through the storm no matter what life throws at us. This doesn't mean that you ignore the world and everything around it. It means that you're choosing to live within. And by doing so, you ensure that your bubble, your personal space remain your safe space. Is like a church where you could just go and talk to God or you talk to yourself, your inner self. And it's a continuous process. And you have to be aware of self care, which is very important because, like I said, I was doing a whole bunch of stuff like client business things or sell vision with my work and in the tech company that I work for, statement for the hospital that I work for, and all of that. I kind of like got pissed off, and now here I am at 11 something, damn near midnight, I'm shooting my podcast because no matter how I feel, this is my safe space and this is something that's non-negotiable. And when I'm going to sleep tonight, as you guys can see in my past video, I always speak about before you go to sleep, ask yourself, did you do everything you're supposed to do the right way, or did you lie to yourself again? And here I am shooting because I know I have to upload this content by the end of the week. And I have to put my feeling towards the world aside, ignore it for a little moment, and embracing my bubble and the work that I have to do to get this done. Feeling worthless does not make you worthless. And I don't care what anybody says, that's a fact. Everybody eventually get the feeling of being worthless, especially when they get to a point where they feel like they can't attack no more. And remember, I told you got to attack life very hard in our past episodes. It's attack, attack, attack. But there's certain parts of life where, trust me, you on defense and you trying to get a steal to move forward and to be on the opposite end, and life chooses to treat you as if you're nothing, and you cannot escape the sounds around you. You cannot turn off the noise. So therefore, you feel as if you're worthless, but you're not actually worthless because you're willing to put in the work. You're willing to do what you gotta do. You just have to embrace and understand what's going on, and it it too shall come to pass. And that's a say that from I get from the Bible, and that's a say that I live by. This too shall come to pass. Within your bubble, you have the power to heal yourself and grow. Because within your bubble, you don't care what's going on around the world, like you see it, but you choose not to let negative things affect you. Listen, it's not that I don't care, or needless to say that I don't give a fuck about people. It's just like when I turn on my phone and I see a terrible comment about his podcast, or about even at work, if a coworker or somebody in a lot higher level than me is talking their crap, because I'm in my bubble, I live within my bubble 24/7. I see what's going on and I hear what's going on as if I'm listening with a cup and a thin wall, or as if I'm looking at a transparency mirror. I choose to protect myself and remember that I am enough, because we are. Not to make my enemy feel as if they have something over me. It's not like allowing people to bully me. It's just I do not care enough to have you here bashing me, or to have you here wondering what I'm doing, minding my business that you don't even get paid to do. But yet again, here you are doing it, but I'm just choosing not to give a fuck. I'm just choosing to just live within myself. In my bubble, even though I don't allow outside things to bother me, but your surrounding sometimes may affect, because at the end may affect your bubble, because at the end of the day, you viewing what's on the outside, you know it could be somebody else's career. It could be somebody else's car that's nicer than yours. It could be your clogged up mom house, that she have things everywhere. Everything is like in your face. So you have to embrace all these things and build a strong enough self-confidence within you to be like, okay, fuck this. I'm not gonna let it affect me. It's either I do something about it, or I sit here and keep thinking about it, or I could completely ignore it and try to find a different view, something else in sight that could make me feel better and make me feel good. The sense of being worthless sometimes comes from our uprising. And sometimes have parents tell us, oh, this person is nothing, or this kid is nothing, or you're not going to be anything. We often get called disrespectful because we choose to protect our peace. You can't stress yourself, especially if you're already down and you're feeling down about something. You can't sit here and stress yourself more and more and more about it. And then it's not really in your control to do anything, because at the end of the day, everybody is responsible for their lives. So you have to sit down and before you put everybody else first, you have to choose you and pick what's making you happy and do the things that can make you better, feel better emotionally. Or it could be reading a book, it could be taking care of yourself, going to do your hair, your nails, you know, the ladies a new wig or something, young man, go to the gym, something that mentally make you feel good so you don't have to sit here and be worthless. Because I feel like being worthless, unless you suffer from anxiety, depression, and many other things, it's not something permanent. Because if you have the work ethics to want to do better, to want to build more, then right there you have a force with me, myself, and I, where we know where we want to go, the body and the spirit, the mental, we know what we want to do, and we're gonna get it done because we are protected by what we decide, by what we choose to let touch us or get in contact with us, right? And I remember I was in school last semester. I really didn't want to be in school anymore, and I made the decision that I was going to drop out. I was done. I didn't want to do respiratory therapist no more. And I fell in love with bedside medicine. So I said, okay, I'm gonna go do that. I'm not gonna tell y'all exactly what I'm going to do, but I soon start school all over again. Pray for me. But I'm pursuing my master's. You see, but the thing is, because I was letting something go, I felt worthless because everybody else was still on their pattern to go towards their goals. And I was the only one, because I'm with myself 24/7. I was the only one that was witnessing a step back, because other people, they're not going to allow you to see their step back. So I felt some type of way and I was bringing myself down. I was angry. It's like I said, I wanted to bash everybody in the head. But then I come to the realization that I am responsible for my grades. I'm responsible for the way things went in school. So now I'm like, since we found a new passion, what are certain things we're gonna do now that we're not gonna do when we was in respiratory school? So it could be better, it could be easier, it could be more fun. And that's where, you know, I started writing down what I need. I started writing down what I want. I started writing down by when I want it. And some of them do come true, but that's what I'm saying. You need to stop stressing yourself. And the feeling of being worthless is fine because it's based on a situation. It's not like it's you as a person your whole life. Some people they say that, but that's because like they've been going through bad situation one after the other. There is always a bright side of things. And if you choose to look at the bright side like I did, I started applying to schools for different things and I got accepted to all 12 to 16 schools that I applied to, and I put pressure. I sent out email. I did what I had to do. So that is why you shouldn't feel worthless when you going through some shit, or when you feel like you're in the middle of a storm and there's nobody that could reach out. So, suffering. Suffering unfortunately is a part of life. And in order to live, you must suffer. You must suffer for the things you love, you must suffer for the things you want, and you must suffer if you want to improve. And honestly, that's okay. That's just the hand we were dealt with. There is nothing we could do about it. In the middle of suffering, you will find yourself feeling worthless. You'll find yourself knocking your own self down, knocking maybe people around you down. And in my bubble is my safe space because I allow myself to feel without being judged. I allow myself to understand and cope with everything that's going on around my surrounding, whether if it's in my control or not, without judging who I am. I embrace the discomfort, knowing that it's temporary. And honestly, that is something you should do. And you gotta understand that everything in life is temporary, either for the good or for the bad. And that's why you need like your own bubble, your own little circle, your own little cage, a safe space mentally where you can always go back to and not let people pop it or unlock the cage or burst into your safe zone.